Above, before, and within all things there is God. I will not pretend to know the extent of the challenges involved with exercising the role of President of the United States. However, as a fellow free and thinking citizen of this nation, I do have the accessibility and facility to understand the basic natures of representing authority as well representing social cause. In other words, one does not need to occupy a role to understand that role and to formulate critiques and advice for and concerning that role. So, if I may, I would like to do just such a thing. I would like to offer to those who are considering to take on the challenge of the role of President of the United States of America this observance and following advice. 1. Listen to those addressing you, especially in a forum established to listen to them. 2. Be ever vigilant to the task of seeking and developing opportunities to enact your policies and advocate in your authority for the betterment of the common community of our nation and our fellow citizenry. As a bonus, exert and exercise every effort to not levy capital threats against members, groups, communities, districts, townships, cities, counties, or states of our nation. For example, President Donald Trump met with a group of African American individuals to acknowledge Black History Month. 2 of the attendees were a married couple, pastors of the New Spirit Revival Center based in the state of Ohio. Dr. Belinda Scott. Can I say this? I am so grateful that our president gives us an ear, to listen to the community, to listen, and people like us are just here to constantly put that message out into the community, and we love you for that. We love you for listening, and we thank you for that. Following is Dr. Daryl Scott. Speaking of the community, let me just say this real quick. Remember, I told you I would try to throw it in. I was recently contacted by some of the top gang thugs in Chicago for a sit-down. They reached out to me because they associated me with you. They respect you, they believe in what you're doing, and they want to have a sit-down about lowering their body count. So in a couple of weeks, I'm going into Chicago. President Trump responds, if they're not going to solve the problem, then we're going to solve the problem for them. Because we're going to have to do something about Chicago, because what's happening in Chicago should not be happening in this country. Dr. Daryl Scott then emphasized, but they want to work with this administration. They want to. To which President Trump concluded, good. That was the end of the conversation. My observation is at that moment sprouted an interesting and vital opportunity to bring a crucial situation into a necessary light for advocating the change and sponsoring provisions which would ensure a successful betterment to the lives, neighborhoods, and communities of the city of Chicago. My advice is that when such moments present themselves, engage in that opportunity. Understand that as the resource of representation for every United States citizen, this is exactly the time to extend the olive branch between government and the people. This is the exact event by which to take power from the elite and give it to the people. My suggestion would be to resist the reaction to simply sweep the situation away with a single syllable of approval, and instead exercise that energy to engage with this person and with the group of people Dr. Daryl Scott is representing, who are eager and ambitious to apply changes to their civic actions and to generate new conditions for the contribution to the safety and sanctity of our national community. Such a time is the most perfect time to reach across the table, shake this person's hand, and say with earnest and pride to them, invite me to the table. Tell me how I can support this project. Let us know how we can participate and also allow us to participate. This is exactly how we should be helping one another. After all, isn't this how we should be giving power to the people and using that power to help one another? Thank you for your audience.